Hey everyone, I'm Carly. I'm a cross stitcher, a knitter, a spinner, and a natural dyer. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my FlossTube. Happy December. I hope that wherever you are and whatever activities you get up to at this time of year, that you are feeling okay about things. I know it's been very busy for me this past month or so, and yeah, more busy than I've been in about 2 years, frankly. But I am just feeling really grateful for the communities that I'm a part of, FlossTube included, and all the communities I have been able to join and get closer to in the city I moved to in August. I'm feeling very, very, very grateful and excited at the overlaps of those different communities, whether that's like finding other queer crafters or in the mutual aid projects I'm a part of, other people who are excited to craft and like use that as part of the things we do to support our community. It's just been an amazing month to kind of start looking forward to next year, both as part of these groups that I'm involved with, and just also for my own personal crafting. Yeah, it's because everything's been kind of all over the place. Not all over the place, just jam packed more so than it has been in a really long time. I've really looked forward to those moments where I have been able to dedicate some time to crafting, and I feel like I'm getting a lot more done because my time is more limited. So that's how my brain works, and I know that, and I'm kind of happy to be back in that space when I have a lot going on. I think it really keeps me mentally healthy. So let me show you what I've been doing. I have a lot of knitting, a lot of cross stitch this time, and sneak peek a little bit of pre-quilting. I'll show you what I mean. All right, so my first finish, this you saw as a whip last time, I believe. These are my lambing mitts by Veronika Jobe, and I made them with Peace Fleece. The colorway is Blue Jay. It's a really old skein, so the colors might have changed a little bit over time, but I love these. I've made a few modifications. So these are fingerless mitts, and they're designed to go, a little bit over your fingertips. Many fingerless glove patterns I think go to about here typically, but I like that these cover the fingers. I did add, like we've got this pearl band here, I added that to the thumbs so that I could roll the thumbs down too. I made these modifications, I think I made this a little bit longer as well. And I made those modifications because of how I tend to like use my phone when I'm out and wearing fingerless gloves. I do have a pair of mittens that has like a flap on it, and I really like how warm they are, but they are so warm that I don't usually put the flap over, and when I go to put my hands in my pockets, I get stuck because the flap is like stuck on the outside of the pocket. Anyway, so when I have these, I can just stick them in my pocket, and then they get warm enough and I can take my hands back out and it's not a problem. So I really, really like that. Those other mitts I have, the thumb is totally covered and there's like a slit where you can put your thumb through to use your phone, but the fabric like blocks part of my view and it drives me up the wall. So what I can do is I'm able to like see my thumb when I'm texting in the cold. So yeah, one of those things where it's like so small, but it really made me appreciate just what you can do with your crafts, how you can modify them to work for you, and it's made me really excited to keep making other things as well. So yeah, lambing mitts done. Oh, hello. Hi. Hi. Come in. I don't know if you can hear him, but that's the other cat, Jabber. We sometimes have conversations. Um, he makes a noise that sounds to me a lot like he's saying hello. So we go back and forth a little bit. If that door opens, it's probably him. Great, so that's that finish. I have a cross stitch finish as well. All right, this is my first pillow finish, and there are some changes that I would make next time, but I'm still really excited about this. So, let me find the original pattern. This is the Prairie Schooler Santa. Oh, what'd I tell you? We'll see if he comes over here. He doesn't like to cuddle as much as Duck, but we might see him. Prairie Schooler Santa from 2007. I chose this because of the knitting theme. I started working at a yarn shop this year, and I'm making these for my mom, who also used to knit and now just kind of appreciates it, which is fine. Anyway, this is the pillow. Excuse you. I love it. I love how the stitching turned out. I made a modification. This kind of light blue is charted for like a creamy color, and I actually used some of the leftover thread. Well, if you're gonna be up here, say hello to the people. Hi, this is Jabber. He likes to terrorize Duck, so if you hear any hissing, that's probably what that is. All right, please don't eat that. Are you gonna stay here? What are you doing? All right, let's just roll. I had stitched a large piece for my mom, Welsh Dresser by Galiana Designs, and I used a bunch of turquoise threads, and I used the leftover threads from that to be the rest of the stripes in this scarf. Just so there's a little tie in there. I also modified the skin tone. I used the same thread that I used in another piece I did this year called Winter in My Garden by Mirabilia. And my mom was really excited about that piece, so I thought it would be fun to incorporate both of those things. Wow, he never sits in your lap. This is magical. Yeah, I think next time I would definitely have a larger border. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. A larger border. Again, my first pillow finish, so I wasn't really sure what I was doing, but it was pretty easy. I hand stitched it, and then I did the thing where you cut a slit in the back, turn it inside out, and then stuff it, and then cover the hole with a little patch. I stuffed this using some scraps from some of the pre-quilting I mentioned. So it's a little heavy and it's a little lumpy, but I think that's fine. I like that. And I also had, I have a ton of Ort jars. So jars full of like ends of threads and fabric scraps and ends of yarn. I might have put some of that in here as well. I don't remember, but I want to reuse what I have, and I really like the weight that gives this, and I think my mom can like stick it in the tree or like on the windowsill or anything like that. It's pretty versatile. So next year, probably going to make it a little bit bigger, like include more of a margin there. But for my first one, I'm pretty pleased. So that's that. There was a brand of yarn I wanted to try in the shop, and I also wanted to get back into making socks because it's been like 10 years. So I did make a pair, and here's one of them. Yay! It's the pattern is called like two socks at once on a circular needle, and the pattern is so old that like the only link to it goes to the Wayback Machine, which is like the history of the history of different web pages essentially. So this blog, I don't know if it exists anymore, but the Wayback Machine is where it takes you. And this is the exact pattern I used when I learned how to knit socks, so finding it was so exciting. And even on Ravelry, when I look at like the history or like the projects other people have done, a lot of people are referencing the class that I took, which I guess apparently was in 2009. I didn't really know, or I didn't remember exactly when it was, but very cool to see people mentioning the knitting basket in Richmond, and our teacher Uta, who was really, really great. I don't know if that shop is still there. I kind of think it's gone, but anyway, this is what it looks like on. ugh. They're a little bit loose. Is it because I've been wearing them for 3 days? Maybe. I also think I'm just a bit of a looser knitter now. Back in high school, I was very, very, very anxious all of the time. And knitting helped with that, but I was a super tight knitter. So yeah, my stitches just look different and my stitching style is a little different. So I'm going to make another pair of these, actually 2 pairs, because I'm going to be teaching someone how to make them. And I'm going to go down a needle size just to see if that makes a difference. So yeah, those are my socks. And then I do have another knitting finish, which I'm so excited about. This is my first color work project, and it's called the Luna Cowl. Oh, she's beautiful. So I think what's kind of funny, you can see she kind of has a little bit of a waist. She kind of balloons at the bottom there. That was because I learned something new about doing stranded color work. So this is the inside of the cowl. You basically like carry your threads until you're carry your floss and oh my gosh, carry your yarn until you're ready to stitch with it again. No, Jesus Lord. Whatever. Basically, I was knitting super tight when I started. You can even see how this is kind of lumpy there. But then I read, I think it was a TikTok comment where someone was showing a sweater that they had done in color work, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, your floats are amazing. These are your floats. It's like, it floats along until you pick it up again. And she was like, yeah, you just spread the stitches along the right hand needle. And I started doing that, and yeah, now we've got a little bit of thickness on the bottom here, and that's okay. So it's also less like tight and wrinkly, but this is what it looks like on. You can like squish it up, or I really liked doing this even just like in my house. Oh my god, my ears are so warm. Oh, and then this yarn, Scout by Kelburn Woolens. Like looking at this rib and just like the width of this, I would love to make a sweater with this yarn so very much. Maybe not this color, but it's definitely sweater material, I think. Am I sweater material? We'll see. One day. So I do have to block this, and I'm hoping that will kind of even out the stitches a little bit, make it a little less like, I don't know, make it a little more even along the edges. But either way, like it's like schlumped on my neck, so who cares? It's not super visible, but it was a really good learning experience. And we are going to be having a color work sweater workshop in the shop, and I want to take it, and I wanted to learn how to do color work before I attempted that. So yeah. What's this? Okay, I have done a lot on House of Christmas, also by Galiana Designs. Please do not disturb Doug. She's asleep. This is stitched on 14 count fiddler's cloth, I believe, from Michaels, and I'm using DMC Jingle Bells. So I finished the attic and the snowflakes on the side, as well as the Merry Christmas banner and those holly leaves in the middle. Yeah, I did pretty well, 25/7ing this for a while, and then once December hit, I was kind of like, okay, I think I might be done. I am a person who typically prefers to finish a project like very soon after I start it, kind of thing. It makes me nervous to put something down because I'm afraid I won't pick it up again. And that's happened with knitting projects in the past. So I'm doing an experiment with this one. It's really big, and I have a lot of other projects I'm working on. And it really does kind of put me in a Christmassy mood. So I'm just gonna put it away and bring it out next year and kind of see how that goes. So yeah, I really am enjoying it. and I'm excited to see kind of how I interact with it next year. But yeah, that's that one. What else have I got? Oh, I've been working on Hocus Pocus by Prairie Schooler. So that's this one right here. And there were a few days where I was like really, really on it. That's all I wanted to stitch on. So this is on a 32 count Lugana. I believe it's antique white from Zweigart. And here's where we are. So I finished the cat, which you saw a teeny little bit of it last time. And then I did this little moons and the hourglass at the bottom. And I think it's looking really good. I feel like I could probably finish this before the end of the year, but I've got so many things I'm working on. We'll see if it happens. But that's a really fun one, really satisfying. There's only a few colors, so it's been very enjoyable. Is there anything else in this bag? Nope. I have a couple projects in here, but I just haven't touched them really. So one that I picked up again recently that hold please. I hadn't touched this for a while and really wanted to get it back out again. This one I definitely want to finish before the end of the year because it is a 2021 mystery sal. So it'd be nice to have it done before Kind Kapal sal starts in January with Nithya. But this is Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler Sal 2021 and Talavera Sampler Sal, as I've been calling it all year. So I'm just kind of hopping around these last 4 boxes. I've shared before I cut this fabric too short, so I was a little nervous about how I would be able to finish it. I decided just to close them up. The final design has like a big heart sort of thing in the middle, and it cuts off these 2 boxes. It wasn't quite to my preference, and then also with the way that I cut the fabric, it's just going to be better this way for multiple reasons. So yeah, you can barely see that one down there. Working on that. I think what's sort of holding me up on this one is having to choose my colors, which I've talked about in the past is like super fun. But with this one now, I'm kind of like seeing that a little bit as a chore. So I have to really be in a mood to choose colors and like put it on the chart and make those choices. So yeah, but once I do that, then the stitching is super easy and really fun. And this is on a 36 count platinum from Picture This Plus, and I'm using Prism floss, which is just a no number brand. Yeah. All right. I think those are all of my stitching and knitting related crafts. I have some quilting, almost, not quite. So I went to a volunteer event, I guess last month, or I don't know when it was recent-ish, at a place called Fab Scrap. So Fab Scrap takes fabric that would otherwise be thrown in the landfill, and they find different ways to repurpose and recycle it. They get stuff from donations, they get stuff from like fashion companies who have like little sample pieces that they're not using, that they use to decide like what material they're going to make a particular garment out of. And those just get thrown away otherwise. So what we did was sort these bags full of fabric into different other bags that kind of separated by material. And if it's like cotton, they're able to turn it into insulation. They do different things with the different kinds of fabric, and if you volunteer, you get 5 pounds of fabric for free after you're done. They have a little shopping area. So I grabbed a lot of stuff. I would love to make some project bags, and I also have shared I really want to make a quilt. So I have started to cut up some hexies. This is my pile. It is definitely not enough to make a blanket yet, but I'm feeling really excited about this. There's the template I'm using to cut these out. There was a coaster on the floor in my basement when I moved in, shaped like a hexagon, and I always was like, that's a really good size for like a quilting hexagon if I ever decide to quilt. And I finally picked it up, yeah, so that's what I'm using. I'm tracing that and then cutting the fabric. So, but there's some like fun stuff in here. Like, look at this little dog. How precious. Most of this, I believe, is like polyester stuff. But that means that it didn't go back into, or go into the landfill. Oh, now that's covered in fur. Very cool. Oh my God, I need a vacuum. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, Fab Scrap, very cool. If you have something like that in your community, definitely check it out. And yeah, we'll see if I can finish these by the time I turn 30, which is next year. Great. I think that's everything. All right, former finish. This is a laptop case I made maybe in high school, maybe college, I'm not sure. It was made for a very old MacBook. So I remember the MacBook. I can't remember when I got it. But this is used with Noro. And I think what I did initially, I was learning how to crochet. So I just crocheted like a bunch of panels. And then I was like, that's kind of ugly. No. I know what I did. I did knit this first, and then it was very loose and it wasn't very padded. So I did crochet the inside after that. And the inside is like not very pretty. I don't really like those colors, but it did what it needed to do. Then I sewed on some buttons, and then these are the the things to close it. Very high tech and cute. But I love this yarn, and I love cables. I adore cable work. So I've used this for many years. Used it in college and beyond. And it's the same material as a blanket that my mom made me. It's not on my bed right now, but this was kind of the leftovers, so I really like that too. Speaking of my mom, she's featured on here quite a bit. Oh, I did give her the Welsh dresser. I was hoping that she would have it framed before I filmed this, but as of right now, she doesn't. She did drop it off at Michael's, so hopefully we'll see. But she loved it. She was speechless. I can't wait to see it framed. That's probably my favorite piece that I've done this year, and I'm really glad she liked it. My mom is a crafty person, and her sister is also extremely crafty and artistic. So her sister taught her how to make boxes. Not just like cover the box with beautiful paper, which she did, but like construct the box. You need this tiny little saw to miter the edges, and then you have to glue them together. And then there's a special way that you do this flap so that it can open a lot of times without falling apart. It is amazing. And this paper is so nice. It's like cloth. So I keep some of my floss in here. But yeah, what the heck? Mom. Amazing. All right. Family finish, former finish, FFOs, whips, starts. No starts. I think I've said it all. Quick earring check before I go, because I really do love these. So this is dried plants with resin on top of polymer clay. And this is from Fragment Jewelry Co., which is a designer or jewelry maker, designer person, who lives in Richmond, Virginia. I got these from her at a queer craft market that was happening every month. I believe is still happening. And yeah, they're such like a nice weight, and then like with like having a having a shaved head, and also having a bit of a smaller head compared to the rest of my body, I've really found that big earrings kind of balance me out a little bit. So I wear these all the ding dang time. They're some of my favorites, and she's got some really cool stuff, not just like plants, but also like funky shapes and things like that. So probably gonna get some more from her at some point. All right, well, that's a short one for you today. Happy, what's today? Tuesday, I think. Happy whatever day is today. I love you all, and I will see you in 2022. Bye. This is just a beautiful moment, so I'm just gonna show you. They usually are fighting. We got Ducky and Jobe. And me. All right.